Hey everybody, it is Chad at Jams and welcome to today's video. What we are discussing is how to buy a guitar. Yeah, I see you. I see that look. I know you're like, what kind of question is that? I know how to buy a guitar, but trust me, I've been in retail for almost 10 years and there definitely is a wrong way to buy a guitar. So let's check that out on today's episode. All right, let's kick this off. Thank you guys for watching, taking your time out of your day to come check us out. And we appreciate all the views. If you like this video, please click subscribe on our YouTube channel. We would appreciate that. And you get all the alerts of when we do a new video and when we launch it. So again, thank you for watching. All right, so how to buy a guitar, right? And I know you're still giving me that look. It's like, really? You're asking me that? But this is a really, really important topic. And it's not just for those who are buying their guitar for the first time. It's actually beneficial for those who have been playing 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Because I know you. I've known your families. You've got friends. You've got other people in your life that's like, whoa, you play guitar? Well, my son wants to learn how to play guitar. Which guitar should he buy? Right? And so if you sit here and you watch and you listen to this, you're going to have some good advice to give them and you'll lead them in the right direction. Okay, so let's start off with a question that I always get when somebody is looking for their first guitar. I always get asked, acoustic or electric? Woo! Oh, I'm sorry. I was busy jamming with my guitar, kind of. So, I wanted to follow up with a quick statement on if you're buying an electric guitar. Well, let's take a look at this cool guitar right here. I've got a nice Jackson Soloist, an amazing guitar, but one of the world's worst guitars for a beginner. This should never be a first guitar for anybody. And that's because it has a Floyd Rose locking bridge like this, right? So these are great for people who know how to use them and great for certain styles and genres of music. Terrible for a first person because they're hard to maintain, they're hard to tune, and so definitely you don't want to, if you're just learning how to tune for the first time, you definitely won't want to tune on this guy. So stay away from guitars with a Floyd Rose. Try something more like a Strat. The Strat still has a floating bridge, but as long as you keep it in standard tuning and put the normal strings on it, you'll be fine. But something like a Les Paul or a Telecaster style of guitar will be a good option because it's a lot easier to string, a little bit better tuning stability, so kind of keep that in mind as you're looking for your first. Back to jamming. All right, so when you walk into a music store, it can be very, very overwhelming, especially if it's like the first time you're looking to buy a guitar or you just got this whim. There's lots of options. So as you see, there's tons of electric models, there's tons of acoustic models. And so let's break it down. Which one should I buy first? Should I buy an acoustic guitar or should I buy an electric guitar? And I always follow up with the question is, what music do you want to learn or what music do you like to listen to? What is the genre? What is the style of music? Because that's going to determine. A lot of people think that you should just go straight to an acoustic guitar. That's what you need to do, and that's just because somebody down the road told them that's what they needed to do, and so that's great. But honestly, there's pros and cons to both instruments, so let's take a look at them. An acoustic guitar, it's simple, right? It's traditional. So if somebody comes to me and says, hey, I want to play country music, I want to just play like folk style music, I'm a singer-songwriter, so I just want to strum some chords as I sing, obviously the acoustic guitar is the way to go. And so we'll point you in that direction. Now, acoustic is also easier to kind of work with because you don't have to have an amp to plug it in. You just strum those strings and you're good to go. But some of the cons with the acoustic guitar is it's a little bit harder to play. The bodies are bigger, so if you're kind of smaller frame, it's hard to get that reach around the body and play it comfortably. The strings are a little bit thicker. The necks tend to be a little bit wider. So actually acoustic guitars are a little bit harder to play. And just putting a lighter set of strings is not always going to be the case. So acoustic guitar is a great option, but is it the best option? That's kind of up to you. So let's talk about the pros of an electric guitar. So if you're looking to play like hard rock, some classic rock, blues, even some of that like older blues, Eric Clapton style stuff, or if you want to play metal, obviously it's going to be a little bit if you're just beginning to play. It's going to be a little bit before you're able to go to that level. But go with an electric guitar because that suits the style of music that you're looking for. So electric guitars, price-wise, they're about the same as an acoustic guitar, but you do have to buy an amp to get like the full satisfaction of electric guitar. Amps are anywhere from 100 to 150. So there's that extra cost, but one of the pros of electrics is that they are quite easier to play. The strings are lighter, the necks are a little bit smaller, and the bodies aren't as thick, so they're a little bit more comfortable to play. All right, so to wrap that up, acoustic versus electric, there's no hard, fast answer there. It all depends on you, the guitar player. So what genre of music do you want to play? And let that decide what you want to do. Because if you're going to be determined enough to play the guitar, then you're going to overcome those pros, cons of either one and get it done. All right, another question that I will ask you is, do looks matter when you're buying guitar? And then I'll follow up with this with how much should I spend on a guitar, right? So these are important factors to play. So let's start with the first one. Does looks matter? Do look matters does. And then I'll follow that up with how much money should I spend on a guitar? How much should I budget for a guitar? So let's address the first question. Do look matters? Does looks matter? I think I got it. And the answer is obviously yes. I mean, one of the main reasons that you probably want to play the guitar is because you saw somebody playing this beautiful piece of art and you're like, whoa, that guitar looks cool, and they make it sound cool, and it's so awesome. Nobody was like, hey, I saw this band and the guitar was just like falling apart and there was like garbage hanging off of it and there was like drool on it. No, nobody says that. Guitars are pieces of art and they really, really catch your eye. And so when you have a guitar that catches your eye, you're more motivated to like play it, to practice, because practicing guitar is hard. So you need that extra motivation, like 6 months into it, you need that motivation to drive you through. And so you want a guitar that you're like, this looks good, I really want to play this, I want to hold this. To drive you and motivate you. You don't want an ugly guitar that'll be like, I hardly want to touch this thing. All right, so let's move on to budget. How much should I budget for a guitar? And I'll just keep this straight and simple. $200 is the minimum that you need to do. If you're buying a guitar for less than that, you better really make sure that it's in good shape, good condition, because a guitar could look fine, but it could play really, really poorly. And so again, as a beginner, as any kind of guitar player, if the guitar plays poorly, you'll be less motivated to play it. You'll be less effective to learn on it. So go ahead and get a guitar in $200 price range, and I think you'll be well. As long as you get it from like a reputable name, Yamaha, Epiphone, Fender, things like that, you're going to have a guitar that you can learn on and be proud of. Now, as far as the other side of the budget, you don't want to overspend on a guitar. So I'm going to say $500 is probably right there at the borderline of too much. And you're asking me, is like, why can't I just go big, buy a $1,000, $2,000 investment, and I know I have a great guitar, and I know I'm going to be an awesome player? And it's like, well, that's true, but as a new guitar player, you have no idea about, I mean, there's just so many options as far as guitar sounds and the way a guitar feels. It's like, as a new player, you're going by looks a lot, and you have no idea about anything else. So I'd hate for you to buy like a $1,000, $2,000 guitar 6 months down the road as you play and you learn more about the instrument. You just realize that the guitar that you bought was not for you. It's not the right genre. It doesn't feel right. It's not the same. You automatically want something else. Yeah, don't do that. Just kind of stick it at that $500 range. Make sure that you get a quality instrument. And so as you grow as a musician, you can actually be a little bit more picky and find the instrument that's going to be for you. All right, so the next question is, where should I buy a guitar? And obviously, I know I look like the shady salesman with the nice tie and the whatnots and the old slick tongue and whatnot. But really, a music store, is going to be the best place to purchase your instrument. And why? Well, let's just get this straightforward. If you don't trust your local music store, just don't go there. Don't go there. It's fine. But if you do trust it, then come to us. We'll give you an honest price. We'll give you the honest information. We know the inventory, so we know what guitars to recommend to you and make sure that you are in the right direction. And so it's also important that we know exactly the inventory here in the shop, because no two guitars are alike. We can have the same model of guitar and one plays really, really good and one plays just not as good. So we know our inventory, we know, love and appreciate our customers. So we're gonna steer you in the right direction. We're gonna offer you a great price. We're gonna give you the information that you need. And even if you don't find the guitar in the shop, feel happy as long as you feel more educated and more decisive as far as what you want. Now, of course, you can order online, and one of the advantages of online is the selection is immense, right? So even at Jams, we have over 100 guitars, but we can't even begin to fathom the selection that you can find online. So obviously there's great selection, typically great pricing online. You know, you can be pretty confident in that. But where online kind of just falls short is that in-person connection, and also just the inspection of the instrument. There's some great online places that they will inspect the guitar, but once they box it up, pack it up, send it out with UPS or whoever, FedEx, you know, you never knows what happens in that 3 to 4 days. Or if you get it home and you're like, there's a problem here, what do I do? Well, now you're kind of just stuck by yourself. So, you know, your local music store has people, if you have problems when you get it home, bring it to us. Well, here at Jams, we actually, if there's warranty information or warranty things that need to happen, we will contact the manufacturer for you, so you don't have to mess with all that. Again, that's kind of where online falls short. Once you buy the guitar, there's not a lot of follow-up, or if you have problems, it's kind of a little bit harder to do. Okay, so let's talk about the online marketplace, such as Facebook Marketplace, Reverb, eBay. Now, Reverb, if you're going to buy online used, Reverb is an excellent option. Because not only are you buying from a third party, but you have Reverb to back you up. So if you feel like you were cheated, if you feel like you bought something fraudulent, then the staff at Reverb is there to kind of help you and kind of resolve those issues. So I feel pretty good. If you're going to buy online, Reverb is a really, really good place. eBay is also pretty good, but it's just a little bit harder. With eBay, you're dealing with like every product category, not just musical instruments. With Reverb, it's more specific for just musical instruments. I also heard that Sweetwater has like a Reverb style, or I think it's Sweetwater Exchange, so that's another really, really good option if you're buying used instruments. But let's talk about Marketplace, because I feel like that's the most dangerous place. So when you're buying from like a Facebook Marketplace, you're trusting that the person selling the guitar knows what they're selling. You're also trusting that they're not like being fraudulent, or they're not trying to deceive you in some way. Because what I found out is, so we do a lot of trades here at the store. When people bring us stuff, you know, sometimes they know it's like, this is sketchy, this is stolen, this is a fake, you know, they'll know. But a lot of times they won't. These people who are selling stuff, they're not experts. And so if there's something wrong with the guitar, they might not necessarily know it. They think they're just selling you a guitar and you bought the guitar and that's it. One of the benefits of going to a music store, we've inspected our instruments. We know that they're good quality. We know that they're taken care of. Buying an online marketplace, you have to really, really know what to look for. So if you don't know what a bridge is, if you don't know what a nut is, if you don't know how to adjust a truss rod, I highly recommend that you don't buy from Marketplace. Wrapping this up, I hope this helps. I hope you guys got some information that's really, really going to help you to kind of like at least make you think and pause before you just like go to a website, click Amazon, you stick it in the cart and you're good. Really, really nervous that you buy from Amazon. Not going to hide this. I want you to come to Jams and talk to us about buying your first guitar. And again, I say this again, you don't have to buy your first guitar here. I just want to give you the information so that you can make an educated choice, get the right thing that you need, and be happy. Because, so if I'm being greedy here, if you make the first purchase the correct purchase, then you're going to become a good guitar player, and you're going to buy another guitar, and you're going to buy another guitar, and you're going to buy another guitar, and then you're going to buy an amp, and then you're going to buy effects pedals. So, I mean, if I wanted to be greedy, I could think that way. But really, we just want to make sure that you're spending your money wisely, you're buying a good guitar for you or your family, And so please come to jams, waste our time. It's fine, it's cool, I like it. Thanks for watching again. We hope you have a good rest of your day. Again, please like or subscribe us. We appreciate all the support.
Hello there, good sir, madam. I'd like to buy a guitar.
We also have like this model, which is super nice. And then if you're looking for electric, look at all these. They're fantastic. This one? Whoa, that's a good option.